The Hatman is one of the most widely reported shadow figure phenomena in modern paranormal accounts. Witnesses describe him as a tall, dark silhouette of a man wearing a wide-brimmed hat. Sometimes he appears with a trench coat or long overcoat, standing perfectly still. His face is almost never visible. It's either completely black or a flat shadow. Unlike ghosts that seem to flicker or fade, the Hatman's outline is solid and distinct, as if he's cut from darkness itself. Reports of the Hatman come from all over the world, across different cultures, languages, and belief systems. Sightings have been recorded for decades, but the descriptions remain surprisingly consistent: tall, silent, watching. People see him in bedrooms, doorways, on the street at night, or even standing in corners during the day. One of the most unsettling features is how the Hatman seems to be aware of the witness. Many report feeling an intense pressure or fear the moment they notice him, as if he is deliberately focusing on them. Some claim he has glowing red or yellow eyes, while others say there are no facial features at all, just the shadow and the hat. Paranormal researchers have suggested a few theories. One is that the Hatman is a type of shadow person, an entity made entirely of darkness that feeds on fear. Another theory is that he could be a tulpa, a being created from human belief and imagination, gaining strength from the number of people who think about him. Others believe he's linked to sleep paralysis, a state where the brain is awake but the body is frozen, often causing vivid hallucinations of threatening figures. However, there are also reports where people were fully awake, moving, and interacting with their surroundings when they saw him, meaning not all sightings can be explained by sleep paralysis. In some traditions, shadow men are considered omens or watchers, appearing before major life events, illness, or tragedy. Whether he's supernatural, psychological, or something else entirely, the Hatman remains one of the most chilling, unexplained figures in modern folklore. His global presence and consistency in appearance raise the question: are thousands of people sharing the same nightmare, or are they all encountering the same real entity? After understanding who the Hatman is, many researchers turn to scientific explanations for his appearance. One of the most common is sleep paralysis. During REM sleep, the brain temporarily paralyzes the body to prevent acting out dreams. If a person wakes before this paralysis ends, they may be conscious but unable to move, often seeing or sensing a presence. Many report shadowy figures, sometimes wearing hats consistent with the Hatman descriptions. Another explanation is pareidolia, a phenomenon where the brain interprets ambiguous shapes as human forms. In dim light, everyday objects can appear as tall, shadowy figures. When combined with fear or stress, this perception can feel overwhelmingly real. Cultural archetypes also play a role. Across centuries, humans have imagined faceless, dark figures as omens or watchers. Psychologists suggest that the Hatman may represent a modern manifestation of these shared fears, a universal shadow person archetype that our brains are wired to recognize. Some paranormal investigators, however, argue that certain encounters cannot be explained by psychology alone. Reports from fully awake individuals, multiple witnesses at the same time, or cases involving physical sensations like pressure on the chest suggest something more than a hallucination. Stress, trauma, and fatigue appear to increase the likelihood of encounters. Many people report seeing the Hatman during periods of extreme emotional vulnerability, hinting that he may be linked to human consciousness in ways not yet fully understood. While science offers plausible explanations, the consistency of sightings worldwide and the specific appearance of the Hatman remain difficult to dismiss. The Hatman is not just a modern urban legend. Documented sightings date back decades, long before internet forums spread the phenomenon globally. In the 1990s, shadow figure reports surged, many describing a tall man in a hat standing silently in bedrooms or hallways. People often report a strong feeling of being watched, sometimes accompanied by paralysis, racing heartbeat, or intense fear. One widely cited case comes from the United States, where multiple family members independently saw a shadowy figure in their home at night. He stood at the foot of beds, silent and still. Although no physical evidence was found, the consistency of the accounts drew attention from paranormal researchers. Internationally, similar reports exist. In Europe, folklore mentions the dark man who appears near crossroads or in homes, often wearing a hat. Latin American legends describe El Sombreron, a mysterious, hat-wearing figure who appears at night. In Africa and Asia, shadowy humanoid figures wearing hats appear in local myths, demonstrating the global reach of the archetype. Researchers studying these accounts note common traits: height, hat, facelessness, and lingering presence. Many witnesses claim repeated encounters over weeks or months. The Hatman's presence in diverse cultures and locations suggests either a shared psychological pattern or an unrecognized phenomenon influencing human perception. Whether viewed through folklore, psychology, or paranormal research, the Hatman continues to fascinate, frighten, and intrigue, becoming one of the most persistent and consistent shadow figures in recorded history. For those who encounter him, the Hatman is more than a shadowy figure. He is a presence that grips the mind with instant terror. Many describe waking up to him standing silently in their room, perfectly still, watching. The fear is not just visual, it is physical and psychological, as though the air itself has thickened and your chest is being pressed down by unseen weight. During sleep paralysis, the terror escalates. Your body cannot move, your eyes barely open, and suddenly there he is, tall, featureless, wearing a hat, silently observing. The natural fight or flight response fires, yet you are trapped. Heart races, breath shortens, and a cold dread sinks into every nerve. Some witnesses report hearing a faint swish of clothing or the soft echo of footsteps approaching, though nothing else moves. Even when awake and alert, the Hatman can appear. One experiencer described feeling a sudden chill in the room, turning to see a shadow at the doorway, perfectly still, radiating an awareness of her every move. It wasn't just fear. It was the sense that he knew her thoughts, that the act of looking at him risked provoking something worse. Repeated encounters make the fear permanent. People report seeing him night after night, sometimes for weeks. Each sighting leaves a lasting impression: hyper-awareness of shadows, anxiety when alone, and a feeling that the world is slightly off balance. For some, even recalling the encounter can trigger the same visceral panic long after the figure has vanished. What makes him truly terrifying is the silence and stillness. Unlike most nightmares or hallucinations that shift and change, the Hatman does not blink, speak, or gesture. He simply stands and watches, and that observation alone is enough to create a feeling of helplessness. Some describe it as a predator assessing its prey, though no physical attack occurs. The lingering effect is undeniable. Many who experience him report sleep disruption, nightmares, and an instinctive fear of darkness or shadowed corners. For some, the encounter feels like it opens a door in the mind, a permanent awareness of something watching, waiting, patient, and silent. This is why the Hatman remains one of the most terrifying modern paranormal entities. He is not just a figure in the dark, he is the fear itself, standing in the room, watching you, and never speaking.